Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to create GoToWebinar meeting registrant on FlexiFunnels purchase. So I'm a business coach and I host a lot of webinars for my participants. I'm collecting the payments for the webinars that I'm hosting using FlexiFunnels as I'm selling passes of my webinars on it, and using GoToWebinar, I manage all the webinars that I host. Here what I want is that as soon as by any of the participant, a new purchase is going to be done using FlexiFunnels, they're going to purchase the webinar pass. I want to create that participant as a registrant in my GoToWebinar account in the webinar session that I'm hosting. Now doing this manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between FlexiFunnels and GoToWebinar with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create GoToWebinar meeting registrant on FlexiFunnels purchase. So as a business coach, I help entrepreneurs and professional scale businesses through exclusive training sessions and live webinars. I use FlexiFunnels to sell my webinars effortlessly, and I use GoToWebinar to conduct my live training sessions, offering an interactive learning experience. To streamline the process, I have automated the registration. Now, whenever someone buys a webinar through a pass that I've created in my FlexiFunnels account, they're automatically going to be registered for the session in my GoToWebinar account, ensuring a smooth experience for both me and my clients. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between GoToWebinar and FlexiFunnels with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the products that Pabbly provides, from which we're going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Create GoToWebinar Meeting Registrant on FlexiFunnels Purchase. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, over here it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select GoToWebinar Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create GoToWebinar Meeting Registrants on FlexiFunnels Purchase, and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process, because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as FlexiFunnels. As with the help of FlexiFunnels, I'm selling all the passes for my webinars. I want that as soon as a purchase of a pass is going to be done by the client using FlexiFunnels, automatically the trigger over here should capture the response of the purchase. That is why for my trigger application, I've selected it as FlexiFunnels. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Purchase. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Now, using this unique webhook URL, we're going to build the connection between FlexiFunnels and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, log into your FlexiFunnels account. So this is my FlexiFunnels account products page. You can see right over here. And these are all the products that I'm selling using FlexiFunnels. Over here, you can see a product in the name of Business Growth Masterclass Pass. And I'm selling the pass. This is the webinar pass that I'm hosting. Okay, so I'm going to open this product from here. Open the product that you want to connect to Pabbly Connect, so that whenever the purchase of this product that you have selected is going to be done, Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. After opening the product, from the left side of the panel, go to the Set Rules button right over here. After coming to Set Rules, you have to click on the Set Product Rules right over here, okay? After doing that, it's asking for the when. When should be product is purchased for all pricing options, okay? This is the when. Now for the use, you have to select it as webhook right over here. You have to give a name to your webhook. So for the webhook name over here, I'm going to write it as new purchase, okay? This is the webhook name, and for the URL field, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Now, whenever this product that we have selected is going to be purchased, automatically the response of the purchase is going to be forwarded towards this webhook that we have added, okay? Now, I'm going to save the changes right over here. As I've done that, you can see over here, the webhook URL is fully added. You can see right here, okay? As now the webhook URL is added, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether FlexiFunnels is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what we're going to do is we are going to do the test purchase of this product that we have created. And after doing the test purchase, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test purchase being done or not. For doing the test purchase, I'm going to open the purchasing page of this product. So this is the purchasing page of the pass that I'm selling in the name of Business Growth Masterclass Pass. Okay, so now let us buy this pass right over here. As I've done that, it is asking for the customer's name. So for the name of my customer over here, I'm going to write it as new. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as client. For the ID over here, email address, I'm going to write it as new client @pabblytudes.com. For the phone number over here, I'm going to enter a dummy mobile number. For the address over here, I'm going to write it as 123 Old City. For the city over here, I'm going to write it as Indore. For the state over here, I'm going to write it as Madhya Pradesh. For the country over here, I'm going to select it as India right here, okay? After entering the customer details, for the item, I've selected as Business Growth Masterclass Pass. For the summary over here, this is the amount, and for the payment, I'm going to do it via card. So it is asking for the card number. I'm going to enter the dummy card number right here. For the month over here, I'm going to enter the dummy date. CVV I've entered, and I'm going to enter all the dummy details. After entering the dummy details, I'm going to click on this complete order button right here. As now where it says thank you for your purchase. Now as this purchase is done successfully using FlexiFunnels, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see over here in the trigger response, we have captured the response of the new purchase being done in our FlexiFunnels account. For the state over here, it comes as Madhya Pradesh. This is the transaction ID. This is the product title, that was Business Growth Masterclass Pass. This is the product ID. Price was 1500. This is the phone number of our client. You can see this is the order ID. First name is new, last name is client. This is the email, that is newclient@pabblytudes.com. Date and time, this is the currency, that was INR, country as IN, that is India, city as Indore, and address as 123 Old Town. As the response of the new purchase being done in our FlexiFunnels account has been captured in our trigger, this means that FlexiFunnels has now been successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. My objective is that as soon as a new purchase is going to be done in my FlexiFunnels account, I want to create this client who have done the purchase as a registrant in my GoToWebinar meeting. Now for that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as GoToWebinar. And for the action event, I'm going to select as create registrant. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, it's asking for the from time and the to time. The from time and the to time is going to be the timing of the webinar that you're hosting with the help of GoToWebinar. So the timing that I'm hosting, the date is 10th of March 2025 and the time is 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, this is a 2-hour webinar right here. So now over here it is asking for the from time and the to time of this webinar that I'm hosting right over here. So now to enter the time, you have to enter it in a UTC time zone format with this given format right over here. Okay. So firstly, I'm going to copy this format from here and paste it right over here. And for the date over here, I'm going to write it as 2025 of March and the date that is 10th of March. Okay. You can see this is the date, that is 10th March 2025. I entered the date. Now for the time also, we have to enter it in a UTC time zone format. format. The time that I over here is in an Indian time zone format. It says IST, that is Indian time zone format. So what we have to do is we have to convert our Indian time zone format and UTC time zone format. For that, open a new tab and search over here for IST to UTC converter. You can see all these converters. Select a converter, any converter that you want. And for the IST over here, as it starts at 12, so I'm going to select it as 12 p.m. right over here. I'm going to select it as OK. 12 p.m. is 6:30 a.m. Okay, so what I'm going to do is over here I'm going to enter it as 6:30. Okay, so this is the timing. So I'm going to copy the same date from here and paste it right over here. Now the time is 2 p.m. So what I'm going to do is in place of 12, I'm going to select as 2 p.m. which is 8:30 a.m. So what I'm going to do is instead of 6:30, I'm going to enter it as 8:30. So this is the from time and the to time. After entering both the details, I'm going to click on this connect with GoToWebinar button right here. As I've done that, you can see we successfully authorized GoToWebinar to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select a webinar. So in my GoToWebinar account, I've created a webinar in the name of Business Growth Blueprint, Proven Strategies to Scale and Succeed. Okay, so this is the same webinar that I've selected. You can select the webinar from the drop down. Then it is asking for all these details of the registrant that we are creating in this webinar right over here. So for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on it, this was the previous step. As I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that is captured in our previous step. It is asking for the first name, and I want to create this client as a registrant in this webinar right over here. So I'm going to select the data from my previous response. It is asking for the first name, so I'm going to select the data of the first name of my client from my previous response. As I have selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I have mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Similarly, for the last name over here, I'm going to map the data of the last name that I've received right here. It is asking for the email, so I'm going to map the data of the email that I've received right over here. I'm going to map the data of the email. For the address over here, I'm going to map the data of the address that I've received right over here. This is the address. I'm going to map the data. For the city over here, I'm going to map the data of the city that I've received right over here. This is the city. I'm going to map the data. For the state, I'm going to map the data of the state right over here. I'm going to map it. After state, it is asking for the zip code, which I do not have the response of, so I'm going to skip the part. For the country over here, I'm going to map the data of the country that I've received right here. And for the phone number over here, I'm going to map the data of the phone number. Okay. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the Save and Send Test Request button right here. As I've done that, we have received a response, which is a positive response as it comes as approved, and the registrant key has also been mentioned in the response. So now I'm going to open my GoToWebinar account. This is the webinar that I've created. And if I'm going to refresh this webinar page from here, after refreshing the page, if I'm going to scroll down in registration, if I'm going to scroll down for the total registrants, I'm going to click on this number right here. And as you can see, a new registration for new client, you can see first name as new, last name as client, has been created in the webinar that I've created using GoToWebinar. Email is newclient@pabblytudes.com. This is date and time and the time zone. Address is 123 Old City. City is Indore. State is Madhya Pradesh. Country is IN, that is India. And for the phone number, the dummy mobile number. As now a new registrant has been created in my GoToWebinar account, this means that we have successfully created an automation between FlexiFunnels and GoToWebinar with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up what we have done, I am a business coach and I conduct a lot of webinars in my business as a coach, and I host a lot of webinars. If the trigger over here selected as FlexiFunnels new purchase, as whenever by the client a pass for the webinar is going to be purchased using FlexiFunnels, over here the trigger is going to capture the response of that. For the action, I've selected as GoToWebinar create registrant. As using GoToWebinar, I manage all my webinars. Automatically, the client who have done the purchase using FlexiFunnels is going to be created as a registrant in my GoToWebinar account in the webinar that they have purchased the pass of. And with the help of Pabbly Connect, I've built a connection between FlexiFunnels and GoToWebinar in this manner. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.